Get ready to supercharge your cloud security game. The NSA and the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, or CISA, have joined forces to drop 5 game-changing cybersecurity bulletins that are specifically crafted to fortify your cloud environments like never before. With cloud services becoming the go-to for small and medium-sized businesses everywhere, the stakes are higher than ever for bulletproof security. But fear not, these guides aren't just any run-of-the-mill manuals. They're an ultimate playbook for safeguarding your digital kingdom. Say goodbye to tech headaches and hello to seamless, secure cloud operations. Today, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into these expert-endorsed guides, breaking down some of the tips and tricks so that you can confidently navigate your cloud journey. Hello, everyone, and happy Friday. I'm Michael Kinnett, CEO and founder of Eternal Networks. And every Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, I go live on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Instagram to discuss the latest tech and cyberspace news that might affect you and your business. In these live streams, I cover educational topics to help fellow small business owners feel more confident about their knowledge of business technology and cybersecurity. At Eternal Networks, our goal is to help people stop worrying about their IT and cybersecurity so they can do what they love. And at the end of the live stream, I'll make sure to have time to cover any questions from the audience. So if you do have any questions, get them ready, post them in the comments, and I'll cover them at the end of the conversation. First off, for the news, this was an interesting one. There's two tech support firms, Restoro and Reimage. They were fined $26 million by the FTC for using scare tactics to convince people to buy computer repair services that they didn't need. The U.S. Federal Trade Commission, or FTC, imposed this fine because the companies tricked customers with fake pop-ups and warnings, making them think that their computers were infected with viruses. Even when investigators found no real problems with their computers, the companies still claimed that there were problems and pressured them to pay for the repairs. The FTC has taken action to stop these deceptive practices and return money to some of the affected consumers. Additionally, the proposed FTC order would prevent Restoro and Reimage from using similar misleading tactics in the future. The settlement is part of the FTC's ongoing efforts to protect consumers from dishonest practices in the tech industry, including actions against other companies like Avast and Intuit that they took earlier this year. Also, another breach and ransomware attack, this one affecting Nissan. And this one exposed the data of around 100,000 people. Nissan Oceania faced a cyber attack by the Akira ransomware gang. This happened in December of 2023, so 3 months ago. The attack targeted Nissan's regional division in Australia and New Zealand and impacted various aspects of the company's operations, including distribution and sales. While the breach was under investigation, Akira claimed responsibility, boasting about stealing 100 gigabytes of data. Nissan confirmed that stolen information included personal details of employees and customers from several dealerships in the region, including Nissan, Mitsubishi, Renault, and others. And up to 10% of those individuals also had their government IDs compromised, with documents like Medicare cards, passports affected. The remaining 90% had other personal information like loan documents and employment details exposed. Nissan will be notifying any affected customers individually, offering support and resources like free credit monitoring and access to ID care. To safeguard against future attacks, Nissan advises customers to watch for suspicious activities, enable multi-factor authentication, and regularly update their passwords. Good practices all around. All right, this one's a little bit closer to home. Instead of Australia and New Zealand, this one is the state of Nevada. The state of Nevada is taking on social media giants like Meta, TikTok, and Snapchat over concerns about their addictive features. Attorney General Aaron Ford filed a lawsuit against these companies, aiming to address some public safety issues related to their platforms. One critical motion is to block the automatic encrypted messaging, a feature known as end-to-end encryption, especially for young users. This update, implemented in December, makes it harder for predators to access messages between them and potential victims. However, some argue that blocking encryption could threaten children's safety and privacy. Groups like the ACLU and the Electronic Frontier Foundation oppose the state's move, arguing that strong encryption is vital for protecting children's personal information. The debate underscores the balance between privacy and safety in the digital age. There's a hearing scheduled for March 20th. This is an interesting one, right? Because ultimately it comes down to our parental control apps and parental guidance apps unable to see because of the encrypted nature of the traffic, thereby not able to monitor their own children's safety. That's one side of the argument. The other side is that everyone deserves their privacy and safety. So it'll be interesting to see what comes from that hearing that's scheduled for next week. Now, on to our conversation for today's educational topic. Recently, the NSA and CISA have jointly issued 5 cybersecurity bulletins. These address critical aspects of cloud security, including identity and access management, key management, data encryption, cloud storage management, and risk mitigation strategies concerning managed service providers. So I want to summarize these 5 guides for you, and I'm going to make sure that we provide links to those guides below and in the live stream chat. So if you wanted to go and read the full bulletin, you could. There's definitely a lot more information in there that I'm going to be able to cover today. The first bulletin is called Use Secure Cloud Identity and Access Management Practices. This bulletin helps to explain some of the more common security threats, specifically targeting identity and access management practices in cloud environments. And the guide provides some recommended best practices that should be taken to reduce the risk of these type of threats. This should come as no surprise to any of you that have listened to any of my other live streams, but their recommended best practices include configuring multi-factor authentication, or MFA, affects their recommendations around storing of credentials, passwords, and also partitioning of privileges so that multiple people are required to elevate privileges or perform sensitive actions. No one person should have all the keys to the kingdom. These are good practices in any modern system, not just cloud environments, I'd like to add. All right, number 2, the second bulletin, use secure cloud key management practices. This covers the best practices for key management systems, or KMS. Now you may be wondering, what is a key management system? If you're not in working in cloud environments and configuring things on the back end. A key management system, or KMS, in a cloud environment is a service or platform that enables the creation, storage, management, and protection of cryptographic keys that are used to secure data and communication within the cloud infrastructure. These keys are essential for encrypting and decrypting sensitive information, authenticating users and services, and ensuring the integrity of the data stored in the cloud. The bulletin points out the critical need to understand and fully document any shared security responsibilities when using a KMS, and outlines some tips on how to do that security. All right, number 3, next bulletin. Implement network segmentation and encryption in cloud environments. This talks about segmenting network traffic between the different cloud services, applications, and servers, as well as the use of encryption within that environment. It points out that network segmentation and encryption is very different in a cloud environment than in an on-premise network because of some of the things that are baked into the cloud environment. And the guide covers the unique nature of cloud environments, as well as the features that are commonly available in those cloud environments to encrypt data in transit and at rest, and how to best segment your cloud services so that they cannot communicate with each other unless necessary. This is to minimize any, if somebody does gain access and breach one of the systems, it minimizes the scope of the attack from them moving laterally into other systems within your cloud environment. The next bulletin, fourth bulletin, secure data in the cloud. The purpose of this one is really geared around the securing of data stored in your cloud storage system. It includes tips on encrypting data at rest, securing data from unauthorized access, and creating backup and recovery plans. And the final and fifth and final bulletin here, mitigate risks from managed service providers in cloud environments. This bulletin outlines 5 different aspects to consider when selecting a managed service provider to assist with your cloud environment. Managed service providers, or MSPs, that's what iTernal Networks is. My company is a managed service provider. We often have very high levels of access to customer networks, customer data, and this makes MSPs a very attractive target for threat actors. We saw this in the massive Kaseya attack, a Revo ransomware that was back in July of 2021. Also, the more recent attack on Change Health was using another common MSP support tool. So it's important as you're evaluating working with and using a managed service provider in your cloud environment that you analyze and put processes in place to make sure that they're doing things securely and that you have a way of auditing and verifying it. So this CSI, this Cybersecurity Information Guide, provides tips on how you can secure corporate accounts that are used by MSPs, how you can audit their activities, and what to think about when negotiating agreements with them and starting to work with them. That's some really good information, and I highly recommend taking a look at it. If you have any questions or need someone to walk you through any of these guides, any of these CSI documents, these cybersecurity information documents, you can always reach out to me or my team. Give us a call today or post something in the comments. I'll reach out to you and we can schedule a chat. Before I get to any questions, I also want to remind everyone about our upcoming monthly webinar. In a world where every click could mean chaos, small businesses are the unsung heroes, battling against the dark forces of cybercrime. So on March 21st, we're going to gear up for an epic training session to arm you with the ultimate weapon in cyber defense, knowledge. We're going to talk about your passport to peace of mind in the digital age through a cybersecurity risk assessment. This is essential for proactive cybersecurity management. And we're not talking about just your average evaluation where somebody comes in and runs a quick scan and says, yep, you got 20 computers and a server and you got some updates that you need to do. We're talking about a deep dive into the heart of your organization's digital fortress, uncovering every nook and cranny where dangers might lurk. Join us on March 21st at 1 p.m. Pacific time for an action-packed session where we're going to decode the secrets of cybersecurity and reveal the hidden gems of risk mitigation for your organization. You can sign up with the link below and don't miss out on this chance to level up your knowledge and level up your defense. All right, let's see if we got any questions or comments from the live audience. See all the links that Emily posted. Thanks, Emily, for doing that on the back end for me. To those, to our webinar registration, as well as to those bulletins from the NSA and CISA. I don't see any other questions or comments from the live audience. Once again, thank you for joining today, for watching, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching after the fact. If you have any questions or comments, you can always contact me via direct message, call our office, email the team, visit our website at itnet.works. I'd love to hear from you. I'd also love to know if you have a topic that you'd like us to cover on a future live stream. We gladly take that into consideration and love presenting and sharing information to give people really more knowledge, make them more aware of the risks that are out there and some steps that they can take to protect themselves. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a happy St. Patrick's Day, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.